Greetings, YouTube. You may have noticed in the past week or so, suddenly offers are popping up in the game like never before. It feels like, in my game at least, every single time I open a crystal, or even sometimes when I don't open a crystal, the game sends me an offer. It's like Big Brother, like never before. And I have to give Kabam credit for this. They have figured out an algorithm that literally micro-targets to what they think your needs are. Now, what does the phrase micro-targeting mean if you are unfamiliar? Micro-targeting means literally going down to the microscope of every item in the game that you are almost ready. So they know when you're close to forming a 4-star hero or a 5-star hero or a 6-star hero, or maybe they're close to forming just like a tier 3 basic or a tier 4 basic. Obviously, a tier 5 basic really isn't available at this point in terms of what they assume that you're going to spend, but that's probably coming soon. So now that we know Kabam is micro-targeting you with 4-star, 5-star, and 6-star shard deals, how good really are these deals in general? Well, that's a great question, and I hope that you are asking it because you will have a solution and an answer to that, at least in terms of 4-star shards, 5-star shards, and 6-star shards, which are the three most popular questions I get asked with these new micro-targeting offers, these 1-hour offers that pop up now in the game. So I have done some math and look forward to sharing that information with you as always so that you can make the most informed decisions for your wallet, especially because it can be really tough. Like, I get it. If you are very close to forming a 4-star or 5-star, especially a 6-star, and you're given these shards, it's going to be very tempting to just say, what's a few units, and to purchase it. Now, this 4-star hero crystal shard one, at least on paper, is so much better than the one that has been in the game since I joined 3 years ago, which is like, is it 2,500 units for a 4-star or 2,000? Either way, this is less than half of that if you were to do the math. Now, you can only get this once, so clearly they're not going to give you the opportunity to buy multiple, even though maybe Kabam will also allow that option in 2019, who knows. But if you were to do the math, you know that 2,000 4-star hero crystal shards get you a fully formed 4-star. So you would, in theory, if you could buy this as many times as you wanted to form a crystal, you would need to buy this 10 times or 930 units. We know that the good definition of a solid 4-star deal right now is about $10 cash for a 4-star guaranteed crystal. I would say, really, if you want to talk about a great deal, it's probably closer to $5. And yes, we have had a few times where you could purchase a guaranteed great 4-star for 99 cents. But in general, the average deal is between $5 and $10. And if you were to buy 10 of these for 930 units, that would be a 4-star with just a little bit of gold for $35. Clearly, a absolutely terrible offer if you extend it. Now, as I said, if you're very, very close, let's say you need 200, this is definitely going to be looked at as a better investment. I'm just trying to tell you what this is on the surface so that you don't think, I've got to snatch this up. And especially for the few of you that feel pressured to charge your credit cards in order to not miss out, you don't have to actually charge your credit card in order to make a very, very unwise purchase of something that is the opposite of an offer. I also want to point out that the shadiest things about these, and I'll be talking about this a lot more with 5-star and 6-star, is that they try to psychologically take advantage of this complete myth that you are getting this amazing limited time deal because 200 4-star hero crystal shards, they normally value at what they say is 465 units. Are you kidding me? That would be an absolutely terrible price for 5-star shards at base value. So the price that they're quoting you as the retail price is so crazy heavily inflated that it is borderline criminal that they are trying to say that 200 4-star shards at this point in 2018, almost 2019, should be worth over 450 units. So do not fall for that red line. It is definitely out of bounds in my book. Now let's move on from the 4-star to the 5-star because we do see here that you get 1,000 5-star hero crystal shards or 10% of a 5-star basic crystal for 750 units. That is not the worst thing we have ever seen. Certainly when they brought back the 1-to-1 ratio of 1,000 5-star hero crystal shards and 1,000 units, that was terrible. But at least those offers usually have something like tier 2 alpha catalysts or 4-star shards available, not just gold. So again, this makes me so upset. 3,750 units is not what 1,000 5-star hero crystal shards? Do you realize that's the game saying that they think you should think as a player, especially if you're uncollected, you're level 60 or at least the level 40, I guess, and you've been doing this for at least 6 months, maybe a year, maybe 2 years, you should know by now that 1,000 5-star hero crystal shards is worth maybe about 500 units. But even now, I'd say closer to 300 to 400 units. So about half of what the quote-unquote great uncollected deal is priced at. But to say I expect normally to pay well over $100 worth of units to get 10% of a 5-star, when a 5-star for the price of an Odin or $100, that's 10 times the amount of shards of this, because it's 10,000 5-star hero crystal shards for a fully formed 5-star basic crystal, would still be considered an awful value at $100 at this point in the game. And you're saying that normally we should expect 10% of that to be more than the price of it? Are you kidding me? But it worries me because if you don't watch these kind of videos and if you aren't educating yourself on offers, there are going to be people out there who don't know any better. And they're like, oh my gosh, this must be a crazy deal. I'm getting 90% off. I mean, this is like when you go to a Black Friday sale and they have marked everything up 300% and then discounted at 50%. So you think you're getting 50% off, but really you're getting like 10% up normally what the price would be on any other day. It's just that 50% off price tag is all you care about because psychologically you think it's a great deal. And kudos to Kabam. This is incredible marketing. For them to knock off this 3,000 units worth of a price for being uncollected to try to make you think you're saving 3,000 units by getting this, that's a genius move. Very shady, borderline unethical, but a genius move nonetheless because they're going to make a lot of money off of these micro-targeting offers. Now, you will not see a more valuable or tempting micro-targeting offer than the first time we have seen the last one I'm going to talk about today pop up, and that is the 6-star Hero Crystal Shard offer, which they're telling you is over a 4,000 unit off price if you act now in less than an hour, because you will get not only 20,000 gold, whoopee, but 500 6-star Hero Crystal Shards. But the ratio is not even 1 to 2. It's not 1 shard for every 2 units. It's actually a little bit more because you have 50 more units. But let's just say, for the sake of argument, that it was a straight 1 to 2 ratio. That would still put the price of a 6-star hero crystal at 20,000 units if you were to do the math. And that is almost $700 for a 6-star hero. And that's assuming that you're getting this incredible deal. If you were to do the unit price for what they say should be the retail offer, the one that they have in that red line, the 5,250, you would have to multiply that by 20. You heard me right, 20. That would mean that they normally charge for this over 100,000 units in their math for a 6-star hero. 100,000 units. We're talking about like the price of a very solid car. We're talking about what some people pay for their whole year in rent in a nice apartment for a 6-star beast. I know why they're doing this, and I think it's brilliant because adding that 1 hour limited time timer and showing the perceived notion that you're getting this incredible deal is going to force a lot of people to try to think that they have to put their units forward in order to not miss out. But I'm telling you, YouTube, these are all the worst possible ideas. Even if you're uncollected and you have the maximum quote-unquote discount for these, it is just an absolutely terrible offer. The 6-star, $700 for a 6-star. The 5-star, broken down in math, $220. And as I've said before, the 4-star, $35. Do not fall for these micro-targeted offers. If you think that you just have to get it because you're that close to forming a 6-star or a 5-star or even a 4-star, I'm not going to stop you. Do what you want. It's your money. It's your units. But just know that this idea that you're getting this super amazing deal is a complete inflated scam designed to make you think that you're getting the best deal when really you're paying double, triple, quadruple, 500%, maybe 1,000% more than you would if you just waited for the average in-game offer for either units or cash to pop up for a 4-star, a 5-star, or a 6-star champion as well. I hope that this video has helped you make more informed decision when it comes to these micro-targeting offers, because there's one thing I can guarantee you in 2019 in Marvel Contest of Champions, it's that not only are these here to stay, but Kabam will continue to develop them for essentially every item in the game. Yes, some conspiracy theorists out there have messaged me these saying, see, this is why I can't get more 5-star shards or 4-star shards, because they know how close I am to forming one and they want me to pay a premium to get that instead. While I understand the argument, I hope that that's not the case. I've been wrong before, certainly with this company. But in the meantime, I'm just looking at these offers on the surface level of the quote-unquote value and seeing absolutely nothing to write home about. In fact, it genuinely disturbs me, especially with the 6-star one, that you're saying 5,250 times 20 in order to be the retail price of a 6-star Hero Crystal, according to the logic and math of this offer. Stay away, YouTube. Stay far, far away.